So hopefully everything's okay. If we're having any issues with the levels or anything, blah blah, let me know. Happy Memorial Day, everybody. Hopefully you're enjoying your time off. Me and Eric are enjoying our time off, so we decided, let's take advantage of this time and talk about the Crunchyroll Anime Awards, which took place last night. Now, this is going to be honor system. I swear. I have not seen the results of the awards, so we're going to basically make our pick for the 2025 Anime of the Year blind. So, we'll see how it goes. Welcome to the newest episode of SDW.
Super Dario World!
All right, Chuck Dominguez, thank you for joining us, and thank you. I appreciate it. He said nice haircut. You know.
Yeah,
I'm glad somebody noticed. God, this guy, he hasn't said a thing. He hasn't. No, I'm kidding. No, I know. He said he was wondering if I actually colored.
I told you looked older.
You son of a bitch. Oh, you actually you asked me if I colored the hair or something. I didn't. It's just, I don't know. Age changes your hair color. I don't know, but whatever. Yeah, I got a haircut today. I had a kind of an important event, but we'll talk about that some other time. Today, we will be talking about the 2025 Crunchyroll Anime Awards. So, oh wait, no, I forgot. Eric's here. So we're talking about the Anime Awards. I saw this. I got a notification for it last week, and I normally don't care because there's so much anime out there that I hadn't seen. But I saw the nominees for this year, and it was 6 of them, and I was like, hey, I've seen 4 of those 6. So I'm pretty sure in the span of a week, I can watch the other 2, or at least watch enough of the other 2 to make an educated call. And so I'm gonna do my call for what I'm gonna break down each show a little bit very quickly, and I'm gonna tell you which one I think should be given the Anime of the Year. Now, Eric decided to take a different approach. What did you decide? I was throwing it to you. I was throwing, like, yeah, here you go.
Well, I don't know. Your screen just went black, and I was like, wait, am I alone now? Yeah.
Yes.
No. My approach was, it's been a busy year, so I haven't seen shit. So
you haven't seen? You've only seen good shows.
Well, I wouldn't go that far either. But no. So what I figured is, you know what? The Anime Awards are coming up, so I could either, get to watching a few of those, the nominees, and get informed and actually make a substantial opinion here, or I could just go with what's funnier, which is just giving my ignorant opinion on which show I think is going to win.
That is funnier. I'll give you that. And I'm sorry, my camera's cutting out a little bit, so it might just be you this entire show. It might just be you doing it. So we'll see how this goes.
Damn.
By the way, check the Dominguez.
My laptop camera. I love it.
Check the Dominguez, pinche cara de nalga de bebé. What can I say? Good genes. Good genes. I'm blessed. But yeah, it's going to be a shorter one. So it's not going to be anything too crazy. Because I have a softball game in a few hours. So I kind of have to, skedaddle. But let's go through this real quick. So I'll just make this big here.
I'm taking the Kakashi shirt. Thank
you, right? It's great. Love it. But let's get to the nominees this year. So the 6 anime shows that were nominated this year were Apothecary Diaries, of which I talked about last episode. So
episode.
It was the last episode. Delicious in Dungeon, Dan Da Dan, Solo Leveling, Kaiju number 8, and Frieren Beyond Journey's End. So those were the 6 nominees for Anime of the Year. I don't care about any other awards. All right. I don't care about Best Sound. By the way, I think these were all nominated for Best Original Show or Best New Show. So I'm assuming that whatever won the other. So I don't care about anything else. I just care about which
Anime of the Year. That's it. And nobody cares about anything else.
And I'm assuming that since these are all the same nominees for Anime of the Year, they're only considering season 1. So Solo Leveling season 2 already came and went, but I believe maybe it was really close together. So I'm gonna try my best to only consider season 1 for each. Okay, because I'm assuming it's just season 1. All right. So
is this still I remember when the Crunchyroll Anime Awards thing first happened, and everybody was clowning on it because it was shit. Um, is it still popular vote?
I
Is
have
that
no
how it is?
I have no idea. All right? I have no idea. I don't care. I just saw the
I vote.
nominees
I
and I was
voted on one of them a few years ago, and then mine didn't win, so I found that it was the incorrect result.
I don't know. If I have to guess, I hope it's not that, but I'm assuming it is. But I'll just tell you which one I think it's the. And Chuck Dominguez is saying that it's not me that I look that way. It's the camera. So, I invested in a nice camera for a reason, But let's get into it. So let's begin with the
He
one that.
forces me to use the shitty camera to make himself look good.
Of course, it's all about who you stand next to. So first off, Apothecary Diaries, and I'm gonna begin with this one because I already talked about it last time. Very quickly, it's about a girl who's an apothecary who gets kidnapped and forced to work as a servant in the basically the equivalent of the Forbidden Palace of China, right? The palace where the Emperor of China has all his concubines. And so since she has skills as an apothecary, she becomes she gets hired as the food taster for one of the concubines, and apparently she's very smart, very clever, very good at solving problems, so they start poaching her to solve other mysteries. The show is really fun. It's very interesting to see the goings on of the what could be the Imperial Palace, the Forbidden Palace. Honestly, that's probably my favorite part, seeing how all the political intrigue of a place that I've never seen before, how all that could work. The main character is really fun. It's the classic awkward girl who is 100% autistic, probably, who's not emotional, who's all logic. So it's fun. The girl's likable, and you spend a lot of time in her head. So she is.
She kind of like a Ray.
What do you mean, like Ayanami Ray?
Yeah.
It's different because, again, you spend time in her head, so you get to hear her thoughts, and she's actually funny. You don't know what's going on in Ray's head. You only see it through Shinji. So maybe, but I wouldn't say that's the best example. So that the show's fun, enjoyable. Season 2 is currently going on right now, but judging in solely out of season 1, I'd say it's a phenomenal show. I understand why it's nominated here. I highly recommended it last time. I recommend it again now. It's
How many episodes?
I believe it's 24 per season.
Okay.
And it's dubbed, so you can watch the sub or the dub, whichever one you want. It's
the right or the wrong.
Correct. And you don't really need to pay 100% attention to it all the time because a lot of slow, interesting things are happening, right? So, fun show. Would I say it's the best of the year? I'm gonna lean towards no, not right now. But I'll save that for most of the show. I'm just saying, really liked it. I'm looking forward to finishing season 2. I wouldn't say it's the best of the year. Next, we have Delicious in Dungeon. This is actually a Netflix show. Basic premise.
Automatically loses.
Why?
Netflix.
Dude, Netflix is actually.
Did you not see what they did to Devil May Cry?
No, I didn't watch it. I saw the memes that were like, "This is disgusting. Look how they massacred my boy," and so I didn't even watch it. But Delicious in Dungeon. Basic premise. A group of adventurers get attacked by a dragon, kicks their ass, and so right before one of the characters gets eaten, a girl, the mage teleports them out of there, like right out of the dragon's lair per se. Turns out that this mage girl is the sister of the main character, and so the main character is like, I gotta go back in there to get her out of the dragon's belly, because if you die in this dungeon and they get you back quickly enough, they can revive you. Okay, that's the basic premise. So they have no money, they have no resources, they have nothing. Half of their crew leaves, abandons them, and so since they're in a desperate situation, they start eating monsters in this dungeon. They meet this this dwarf dude who's actually pretty skilled at cooking monsters, and so that's kind of their adventure. They're trying to get back to kill that dragon, to get the main character's sister back, and that's the main theme of at least of the first part of the show. I won't do spoilers for the second part of the show. So this is, out of all of the nominees, probably the most lighthearted show. Which you wouldn't think based on the premise that I just gave you, right? It's like, oh my god, it's a race against time to save his sister, blah. But it's a comedy at heart, and so it's very lighthearted. You don't feel that sense of dread of time coming up, looming over them. That sense of desperation of like, we have to get him back. So it's just because of that. I mean, the premise should be something where you're like desperate the entire time trying to move, but all the characters are very relaxed. So just because of that,
it works on an RPG logic where it's like the end of the world is happening. You got to get to the quest marker. It's like, all right, but I'm gonna go do some side questing first.
In a way. So the cooking part's interesting. The way that the creators thought of using the particular parts of monsters for dishes is interesting. That's fun, but at its core, again, it's a comedy. It tries to be way more lighthearted. The thing that's fun here is the characters, their personalities. And they really went above and beyond and at adding a few extra things in the animation. So, for example, that expresses nonverbal things. And I'll give you the quick example. The elf here, Marcel, or however you say it. There's a moment where she's anxious and they're waiting for a plan to work out, and she's just waiting. And in her anxiety, she flips her staff a couple times just to show that she's anxious. So nothing, you can't see anything else. She just flips them twice. And so I'm like, okay, so they actually took the time to animate that to show that she's anxious. She doesn't have to say it. She doesn't have to do like a. It's like, okay, so, and they do that a lot. Little details that add to the story. And so I like that. The animation's okay. I've seen a lot of anime lately where it's supposed to be an action anime and the fight scenes is just basically a still of the character kind of like moving like, and then, like, dude, fucking animate it. Why are you, it's supposed to be an action show. And you got here.
Not every studio is Mappa or Madhouse, bruh.
Fair. But at least here they took the time. It's supposed to be a comedy, but they actually took the time to animate everything. Characters, very likable, a lot of personality. It just, again, compared to all the other ones, this one's got the lowest stakes, probably. At least the first part. The second half gets a little bit heavier, and I'm assuming it's going to keep going in that direction. But again, I'm basing it solely on season one as a whole. So it'll probably.
You're saying it seems like it's getting more serious?
No, it does. Like at the halfway point, things get a little bit more intense, but it's still very chill. Like they're way too relaxed for the situation that they're in. So the characters still stay relaxed, but the story does start to get, a little bit more intense. A little bit, not a lot. A little bit.
Doesn't that annoy you a little bit when it's a show that's got a ridiculous title like Delicious in Dungeon?
Mm-hmm.
So, you're set up to, all right, there's going to be like a quirky, just random trashy stuff. And then it starts getting serious. It's like, that's not what I'm here for, buddy. I'm here to eat McDonald's. I'm not here for, filet mignon.
Yeah. And so, I don't mind it because I prefer serious stuff. I like comedy.
I want self-aware trash to be self-aware trash.
Fair. You know what? Fair enough. See, I like heart. But anyway. That's Delicious in Dungeon. Next, we go to Dan Da Dan. Now, Dan Da Dan is the cool new kid. It's the sexy new show. The animation style sometimes a little quirky. It's weird. The show's fucking bonkers. All right, this is the Tarantino out of all of them. So you got your Spielberg, you got your Scorsese, and all of a sudden Tarantino shows up. Is like, bam, we're doing weird shit. This show is fucking weird, but it's fucking cool. Basic premise, I'll give you what, cause I'm not sure I can actually break it down properly, but basically,
Aliens.
No, you're close. Guy and girl meet. Girl's kind of like the popular girl. Guy is a geek loser. Guy believes in aliens. Girl believes in ghosts. they both think that the other person's an idiot. So they bet like, all right, you go to a haunted place, you go to a place where people get abducted, and we'll see who's right. Turns out they're both right. So aliens and ghosts exist, and from that point on, shit gets fucking wild. People lose their penises. There's a hot granny. It's fucking bonkers.
I didn't know the show was relatable.
It's one of those where I'm like, man, I gotta watch every single second of this show because I don't know when things are gonna get crazy. I'm pretty sure that everything's gonna mean something. The characters are really fun. The story is super fun. It goes kind of really quickly. It's just an enjoyable. It's straight up a good time, but it's just fucking wild, ridiculously wild. Now I'll be 100% honest. I haven't finished season 1. I have not finished it because I couldn't just have this show on the background. I actually had to watch every second of it because it was a show that is so fun, so good that it deserves 100% of my attention. Unfortunately, that meant that I could not finish the first season. There's some episodes that you just don't see coming that are extremely good, that have a ton of heart in it. And so, okay, it's fun, but again, very different. Like, it's on a league of its own in classification. It's a weird ass fucking show. John Smith here saying Turbo Granny 10 out of 10. Turbo Granny's not the hot one, you sick motherfucker, okay? That's weird. So yeah, fun. Again, new kid on the block. Weird, quirky, but you know, it's straight up a good fucking time. So that's Dan to Dan. Also, the opening song, banger.
Kind of gives me some Fooly Cooly vibes. You ever saw that?
No.
Did you see Gurren Lagann?
No.
Okay, well, you got some homework of old shows, and I got some homework of new shows.
Probably. It's John Smith. Turbo Granny gonna get your pee-pee. Yeah! She wants your dong! She wants your dong! Anyway, yeah, like, when I went into it, like, the show's called Dan to Dan. I had no idea what to expect. And, oh my fucking god, I still don't know what to expect. Like, I don't know where it's going. I mean, I can guess, but I kind of loved how fucking realistically random it is, because shit makes sense in the context of the world. The problem is that their world went really crazy really quickly. Does that make sense?
Sure. I mean, everything's bonkers, but it makes sense because their world is bonkers.
But it was a normal world. Just one inciting incident and everything went bananas, and it makes perfect sense that you could lose your dong in this world. So there you go. Let me see. Next, we have Solo Leveling. Now, this is probably the most, I believe it's tied for the most popular one, and it annoys me, but Solo Leveling, basic premise.
This is the only one I've watched a little. I just watched 3 episodes, so I know all about it.
Okay, so basic premise, dungeons or portals start appearing in our world, and monsters come out of it unless you kill the boss monster inside those inside those portals. Certain humans start getting basically magical powers, and there's ranks, so you can be E rank to A rank or S rank, and basically depending on the difficulty of the portal, you go. It's which levels you can clear. Basically, this is the story of the weakest hunter in all of South Korea. And for reasons, he unlocks the ability. Well, actually, for very fucked up, intense reasons, he unlocks the ability to be able to level up. Ergo, the title, Solo Leveling. So, the show's brutal, and it's gory, which is fun. It starts off not pulling any punches. Afterwards, things get a little bit different. It does stuff that annoys me. It annoys me that it follows video game mechanics. I find that very lazy and annoying. However, I read the entire manhwa, which is the South Korean manga, and they find a way to justify it. So it's like, okay, I don't hate it as much, but overall, the main character personality less, basically. He's extremely cold So not much there. I mean, I don't hate Jinwoo, but I don't like love him. Like again, not enough, not enough, not much personality there to him. So I'd say that's the weak part. Video game mechanic. Monsters are fun, fighting's fun, action's fun, all that. The history of the world is interesting. Again, I read the entire thing, so it kept me hooked. You know, I was interested in what's happening. I liked.
And I think it's damn popular too.
I think that's if as you're saying, it's by popular vote. Probably the entire country of South Korea voted for it, so it has an advantage there. But and one thing I did notice as I was watching the show, every week I checked. They're like, all right, is there a new episode now? Is the episode up? So it got me hooked. It's fun. It's enjoyable. Good animation. Cool music. I just would not put it as my top. It wasn't my top pick. Does that make sense? No,
Sure.
No complaints. It's just honestly it was a difficult year. There's a lot of competition in many ways.
It's a perfectly fine show, but you know, in a year with a bunch of other perfectly fine shows, may just not make the top cut.
So you've seen 3 episodes. What are your thoughts so far?
Well, so he just got this new power, and I'm assuming this power is going to take him from the bottom to the top of the verse because he's going to be OP as fuck.
Okay.
And I mean, I want to go back to watching it, so that's the biggest compliment I can give it.
Yeah, fair. Honestly, it's a good show. But, you know, again, it's all about who you stand next to, guy. Who you stand next to. Now, in a very similar vein to this show, because the other action show, Kaiju number 8. Basic premise,
I haven't seen the first 7, so.
Basic premise, it's kind of like Evangelion, like
you can't just say that, you know.
In the sense, or it's kind of
that's not a sentence that exists.
Kind of like Pacific Rim, that kaiju start appearing in our world, and humans kill them, and we harvest their parts. In that sense, right?
Okay.
So kind of like Pacific Rim in that sense.
That is actually very Pacific Rim.
Mm-hmm. This is the story of a guy who is in his 30s, and he basically works in the cleanup crew. So he goes and harvests parts, right? So they clean up the mess, they harvest whatever parts they can from monsters, from kaiju, blah, blah. This guy dreamt of being, you know, part of the forces who actually go and fight. By the way, here, it's not a giant mech. It's dudes with superpowered suits, and certain people have the ability to enhance their physical abilities more than others. His childhood best friend is actually an elite member of that group, and he was never able to actually make it to the defense force, and so he got stuck on cleanup crew. But he still dreams. He feels like he has one more shot, one opportunity to actually try to get into the defense force, and so he's a hero at heart. Due to shenanigans, kaiju ends up basically taking over his body, and he turns into this particular kaiju number 8.
So I was actually, before you even mentioned that, I was already gonna ask. So it's kind of like Attack on Titan with, you know, like people
Sure.
gotta kill the big monsters and stuff.
Kind of, in that sense, yes.
Now it's exactly like it.
Now, the big difference is that the main character is fun as fuck. Like, the dude is...
Hey, you can say a lot of things about Aaron, but that boy was a good time.
It depends on which side of Aaron you were. But this character is hilarious. And again, he's in his 30s, so it's very relatable to me for some reason. So suddenly it's like, oh man, like my back hurts. So like, how the fuck do these kids don't get tired? And so, fun main character, and the kaiju stuff. Like it's probably the show that handles hype the best. So Solo Leveling is really good at hype, but Kaiju number 8, there's times where I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go. Let's fucking go. So it handles hype extremely well. I was actually like, I noticed like I'm smiling at times where the things are happening, like, oh, let's fucking go, yes. So it's the one that probably made me feel more like most like a kid in that sense. So
Well, it is a Shonen Jump show, and I mean, given that it's a manhwa, I'm assuming solo leveling wasn't on Shonen Jump.
I don't know.
No, it is not.
Okay, so and that's kaiju number 8. And well, then also, so the guy manages to get into the defense force, but he's the monster in the surrounded by the monster hunters. So how will he keep it a secret? It's fun. It's fun. And again, the main character's kind of an idiot, so you kind of like him that way. Finally,
So kind of Chainsaw Manny.
in a way, I could see that. Yeah, sure.
Devil Man killing devils.
Sure. Finally, we got Frieren Beyond Journey's End.
Hey, it's the anime of the year.
Why?
Because that's the one I haven't stopped hearing about.
Dude, there are... I believe that this...
Also, apparently it makes people racist.
Kind of, I get that. So, it's... Probably... Let me see. Nope, definitely the one with the most memes. Like, there's... Frieren and Fern are beyond fucking memeable. Basically, I would not be surprised if this show ends up getting the Star Wars prequel treatment, where every single line becomes a meme. They're very memeable. So, basic premise of this show, as the title implies, Beyond Journey's End, Frieren was a member of the hero's party who defeated the Demon King, and the story takes place, I believe, 60-80 years after they killed the Demon King. So the hero's party at this point is retired. The hero has passed on, but Frieren is an elf, and so she doesn't see time the same way as we do. And it's the point in her life where she realized that, oh my god, I didn't really get to know these people who the most important time of their lives they spent with me, but I didn't really give them the time to really get to know them. And so she's kind of in a journey to try to get back some of that lost time, per se. So it's in many ways, this show's a masterpiece, but the main message of the show is this. It's pretty clear, it's pretty simple. Take advantage of the time that you have with your loved ones while you have them. So it's in many a very nostalgic show. It's got a lot of heart, like a ton of freaking heart, and this show made me cry several times just because it's very heavy, very intense. And it's also kind of makes you feel guilty, like, man, I should spend more time with my dad. I should spend more time with my grandma. I should do so many more things because, again, basic premise of the show, they exemplify it via an elf who's basically, can live thousands of years, but we are arrogant with the time that we have as well. And we're like, oh, this person's going to be there forever. I don't really have to worry about it. So it hits you that way. And it's a magnificent way of exemplifying that specific fact, that truth or that lesson in life. So just because of that, I'd say it's a masterpiece. Now, the show starts off slow. It starts kind of like a drama-ish. Then the action comes in, and holy fuck. The animation's a little quirky at first, but holy shit, it gets hype as hell. And I loved the way that they handled all the action stuff, because it's slow building up. You get to learn more about why Frieren was in the hero's party. You get to see her freaking power levels. You get to see a whole bunch of other stuff. Again, the racism against demons. So, which is fair.
Based.
Totally freaking fair. So, because of that, because of many reasons, I agree with you. Like, to me, it's like Frieren and everybody else. And there's a lot of good shows. But which show has the most memes? And it's all about the memes, right? In life, it's all about the memes. So, personally, I'm going to go Frieren Beyond Journey's End. It's the show that's probably going to stay in my heart forever, right? valuable lesson.
Okay.
I'm gonna show it to my kids. Like if I have to pick one show that I can only see for the rest of my life of all these 6, it's Fearin', because I feel like it's going to be it's a timeless life lesson. Again, it made me cry several times. Like I was like, oh my god, I did not sign up for this. Most of the memes I saw were funny. What the hell? Where did this come from? The show is very funny sometimes. What?
Did it end?
No. So the controversy with Fearin' is that the studio that made it apparently is famous for not finishing their shows. So the story does not end in a point where you're like, okay, I'm satisfied. No, it's clearly open-ended. It clearly should have a next season, but the people are concerned because, again, the studio's reputation. Now, I think...
Who's the studio?
I don't know. I check it, but I don't want to risk seeing the results. So, if I have to
Oh, it's Madhouse.
Yeah.
They're the ones who did the first season for One Punch Man, not the second.
Oh, okay. So, we'll see. We'll see. But again, if I have to pick, to me, anime of the year, easy, hands down, Frieren Beyond Your Journey's End. Like, easily. I think this will probably end up being one of my favorite animes of all time, all said and done. Might be one of the best animes of all time at the end of the day. I don't want to oversell it. It's just, again, the way that it hit me. Maybe it's because of the particular point I'm in my life. I don't know. But love the characters, love the story, love the animation, loved everything about it. But the music's fun. So beginning to end, I don't have any complaints whatsoever. And so
Definitely got the best premise.
definitely, it's very different.
It's one of those shows that I've actually been genuinely saving for when I would want to watch like something really good, because I've only heard good things about it.
And you have to pay attention to it. It's not something you can have on in the background. You have to pay attention to it. It's worthy of you paying your attention to it. So if I have to rank these 6 shows, so again, Apothecary Diaries, Delicious in Dungeon, Dan, Solo Leveling, Kaiju number 8, and Frieren, easy, top of the list, top tier, Apex S rank is Frieren. Then, it's I haven't.
So that's S tier. What's in A tier?
I haven't finished Dan and Apothecary Diary. Oh, I have Apothecary Diary season 1. I finished it and I thought it was great beginning to end. I feel like depending on how they finish Dan might be number 2, but I haven't finished it, so that's my fault. And since it's my fault, I'm gonna give it to Dan, just because it's so freaking different. And then I'm gonna go Apothecary Diaries. Then honestly, I like Kaiju number 8 a little bit more than Solo Leveling. And again, Solo Leveling was so good that it made me want to read the entire manga. But I just, again, Kaiju number 8 made me feel like a kid again. I'm not gonna say it's better animated or anything or nothing, but it made me feel like a kid again, so I enjoyed that more. Then Solo Leveling, and finally at the end, I'll say Delicious in Dungeon. So that's how I would rank them. Now we're going to see the actual results. So what do you think, Eric? How do you think it's the actual results on this thing?
I don't know if it ranks them, but I already told you anime of the year, so.
Baron. All right, so you haven't seen any. So I'm gonna go here very quickly. So Crunchyroll. Oh, there we go. I already know what I was gonna do. Crunchyroll Anime of the Year 2025. Anime of the Year and full list. So we got 2025 winners and Anime Film of the Year. Okay, look back. Global Impact, Attack on Titan. Best Continuing Anime Series, Demon Slayer. Surprise.
It had the better. It was a good ending, but the rest of the season wasn't the best.
So best new anime series is Solo Leveling. I'm assuming if it's the best new anime series, it's gonna be Anime of the Year. So let me see. Best character design, best director, Frieren. Okay. Best background art, Frieren. I don't know what Blue Box is. Best comedy, I don't know what that is. Best action anime, Solo Leveling. Best isekai anime,
ReZero came back.
Best drama anime, yeah, dude, ReZero, the latest season is fun. The main character kind of stops being a useless idiot who dies all the time. Okay, best drama, Frieren. Best slice of life, Makane, Too Many Losing Heroines. Did you see this one?
No.
It's fun. It's Basic premise: all these girls are kind of like the stereotypical character who never gets chosen. So first off, blue-haired girl who's the childhood best friend, the quiet girl who has always liked you but has always been too shy to say something, and the sporty tomboy who again
the Yankee girl,
best friend the entire life. And so all of them get rejected. All right, so it's the classic story where they all shoot their shot with the guy that they like, and they all get rejected, and so they end up kind of becoming friends with a guy who's a total loser, who they're not really interested in, so they kind of just hang out with him because they're upset with things that happen in their. For example, blue-haired girls like, I can't hang out with my former best friend because I can't hang out with my girl best friend and guy best friend because they started dating, so I need to find somebody else. And you were kind of there at the moment where it all went to shit, so I can kind of complain about this shit with you because I can't complain about this with the rest of my friends because they'll be like, you're just being bitter. Why aren't you happy for them? So it's kind of one of those situations. It's an enjoyable show. Let me see.
They're just a bunch of losers.
Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Best main character, Sung Jin-woo. Freaking his sister's a better character. Gina is way more fun. Actually, if you watch the abridged version, it's fucked up. It's beyond fuck. Have you ever heard of Solo Leveling Abridged?
No, but I've seen a bridge series before.
They re-edited into like basically YouTube shorts. They changed the dialogue, but they kind of try to keep the voices the same, and they changed the story. So there's like the incest route. So where they're changing it so that the computer system is being like, you have to hook up with your sister, and he's like, no. So it's funny, but holy shit, oh my god, this is bullshit. So let me see just the competition. Frieren, I can understand people being like, well, Frieren doesn't have a lot of personality. Frieren's just cold. Like, actually, I think there was a lot of great main female characters this year. So Frieren's great. She's just cold, and you're not in her head. Mao Mao from Apothecary Diaries, same, cold, but you're in her head. So the difference between Mao Mao and Frieren is that Frieren actually has a heart, and she does actually show it. She does show emotion. Most of the time, she's kind of like meh, more kind of like, I'm old. I've been here. I've done this. You won't impress me. But she does have a heart. Mao Mao's like, I'm a robot. I have no emotions. But you're in her head, which makes her fun. Kafka Hibino, Kaiju number 8. He's my fucking homeboy. All right, Kafka is the guy that I would go have a beer with. All right, he is fun as fuck. Okarun from Dan to Dan. He's kind of too neurotic, but I can see it, I guess. He's the guy main character. Momo is the girl main character. Now she's fun and a half, man. Girl on her journey into womanhood. A lot of personality. Like, the show begins. The first 10 seconds of the show tell you a lot about her. She starts the show with her boyfriend is breaking up with her because she won't put out and won't give him money for dates and stuff. And so she tries to roundhouse kick him. They get in a fight. The dude kind of beats her up. And so that tells you a lot about that girl. First off, her taste in men. Second off, her temper. So again, she's a fun and a half, man. So again, you got Frieren, Mao Mao, and Momo. Great freaking female character protagonists. A lot of fun. And then you got Sung Ji-woo, the wet fucking blanket. Boring as hell. So I'm upset about this already. Best supporting character, Fern. I get it. Fern's fun. Fern's cute. If I have to pick, so the options are Fern or Himmel from Frieren, Jinchi from Apothecary Diaries, Seiko Dadadan, Shenji from Delicious in Dungeon, Turbo Granny. Oh, okay. I'm happy with Fern. Fern's fine. Fern's cool. Must protect at all cost. Anya, I get it, from Spike's Family. Best anime song. Told you, Dan to Dan. Best the banger of a song. just when you see the fucking opening, you'll be like, all right, I understand perfectly what this show's about. Okay, dan. So fun. Best anime score, Solo Leveling. Score's fine. Best anime opening sequence, called it. Dan. Best anime ending sequence, Solo Leveling. Bleh. Best voice performance, Mao. Okay, I'm assuming. Yep. Where the fuck's the anime of the year? Best voice.
I think it's at the very top.
Really? I didn't see it.
Yeah, I just looked at the whole thing.
Ah, man. So why didn't it show up?
I don't know. There it is.
Solo Leveling. Boo. Boo. So anime of the year, Solo Leveling.
It's all the Koreans, man.
Yeah,
they came out swinging.
This has to be like a popular vote shit. Let me see. If all the votes that have been tallied, judges and fans around the world have shared their picks. Yeah, if this is a fan thing,
what's the point of having judges if it's a popular vote?
Let me see if I can guess, or I'm gonna take a wild guess.
Do they count as like 1,000 votes?
No, judges pick the anime that fans can vote for.
Sure. Okay.
All right. So the judges bring it out of all the anime that came out. They narrowed it down to 6, and so now fans get to vote.
Did anything get snubbed on your estimation?
Dude, I don't even remember which animes came out this year. But again, it's like if I had to sub one out here, it would probably be Delicious in Dungeon. But let me check. Anime.
Yeah, they had to put a Netflix one in there.
Anime released 2024. So ReZero was fine. Bleach. Windbreaker, Spice and Wolf. I haven't seen. I'm watching the original. Demon Slayer was not good enough to be there. Oishi Noko maybe. I don't know. So I'm fine with the picks, with the 6 picks. It's just if it's popular vote, I get why it's Solo Leveling. Solo Leveling's fun. It's popular, but all the people who voted for Solo Leveling haven't seen Frieren, in my humble opinion. Like I highly recommend this show. It doesn't really matter who you are, because you will get a valuable lesson out of it and a heartwarming journey. And so it's great. I highly recommend it. Any closing thoughts for you? Because I kind of have to start getting ready for my softball game.
Well, I gotta say, I guess I made the right pick in terms of which one to watch, because the only one I'm watching right now is Solo Leveling.
You went with your guts, man. Listen, Solo Leveling's fun. Again, it's good, so good that it made me want to read the entire manga. I'm not going to say it's bad. I'm not going to say I didn't like it. I'm not saying I didn't enjoy it. But it's who you stand next to. And the one that actually pulled at my heartstrings is Frieren 100%. All of them are worth the watch. Even Delicious in Dungeon is a fun watch. Man, it's 24 episodes, which was a pain in the butt. But I enjoyed those 24 episodes.
But you know what? So, anime tends to skew for younger audiences.
Fair.
And I feel like Frieren is a bit more of a mature story. Right? I feel like it hits you harder the older you are.
Yes, definitely.
So maybe if you're like people who voted in these things, that they're in their teens and their early 20s, right?
That's why I said I think at the end of the day, once it's all said and done, if they maintain the show at the same level and the story maintains at the same level, this will probably go down as one of the best animes of all time. It'll be maybe not in the Mount Rushmore of it. I mean, it depends. It could actually get better, but it could get worse. So if it continues on the same trajectory, sure. It might
stay on that upper echelon of oh man, yeah, you gotta watch Cowboy Bebop and you gotta watch Evangelion and you gotta watch Frieren.
So it's got everything. It's got enough comedy, it's got enough action, it's got a fuck ton of heart, which is the most important thing, a bunch of emotion.
Does it have video game mechanics?
No. And it's memeable as freaking hell. No video game mechanics. It's just straight up fantasy world. No power-ups, no stuff like no leveling. No. It's just they do rank powers, but it's not in a video gamey way. Does that make sense?
Gotta have an entire episode just ranting about how video game mechanics and anime tend to be shit.
Sure. I don't enjoy it. And I've said my complaints about this many times. I'll say it again, and I'll put solo leveling up here. I believe that characters need to suffer in order for them to develop, right? Training is a form of suffering. Now, some people enjoy it, like Goku. Goku ended up being OP as fuck, but he had to earn every single level. He had to earn every little bit of power. Now, he went through situations where...
People can complain about how strong Goku got, but they have absolutely no questions on how he got there.
Exactly. They saw every push-up, every single time he carried Master Roshi with that stupid giant shell, everything. So I like that. I grew up with that, where characters actually have to train. My issue with the video game mechanic is once you level up, it's like, okay, now that's where I am. I won't ever lose this. So I'm assuming that age and stuff won't affect it because you'll always maintain that level of power. That annoys me because you're not earning it. Maybe you earned it once. Like, for example, I'll say that Jinwoo earned the ability to be able to level up. Like, he earned that right. But just earning power for the sake of earning it, not actually winning it, kind of annoys me in certain ways. And just getting it as a sure thing for free. It annoys me. So...
Well, that one, given the episode, it didn't look free.
I didn't say it's free. No, but let's say, for example, like, all he has to do is 100 push-ups and blah, blah, and he bloop, immediately powers up. Again, they find a way to explain it in the manhwa, but it still annoys me. Hey, why isn't Tower of God here? Now that I think about it.
Wasn't that 2 years ago?
No, Tower of God Season 2. Let me see. Tower of God Season 2 release date. There we go. July 7th, 2024. Wow. Whoa. Okay.
Lost popularity?
Very quickly. Tower of God Season 1, masterpiece. Right? Beginning to end. Loved it. Cinema de art. Loved it. Season 2, good. Not a masterpiece. Weird. I'm not sure if in a fun way yet. So there's a big drop off, but I'd assume that, I mean, that's also a Korean show, right? Yeah, Korean story.
It's Chinese.
Really? I thought it was Korean. Let me see.
I think it's Chinese.
Tower of God creator. Korean. Lee Jong-hoo. Yeah.
Oh, then I guess I will watch it.
Yeah. So, great. Season 1, like I said, Season 1, masterpiece. But whatever.
I gotta say, I really hate Korean names. I'm sorry. I just can't remember them ever.
Fair enough. By K Mods, nobody gives a shit. Okay. Nobody gives a shit.
Well, it's all good.
Whatever. So, that's it. Like I said, if anybody cares, for me, the ranks. Frieren, Danadan, Apothecary Diaries, Kaiju number 8, Solo Leveling, Delicious Dungeon. Again, it depends on your mood, what you're looking for, but I recommend watching those. If you can only watch one, Frieren. If you can only watch 2, Danadan, stuff like that. So, there you go. I think it's a good place to stop.
And let's give a nice round of applause and congratulations for the anime of the year, Solo Leveling.
Congratulations.
Nice job, fellas.
You know what? Congratulations, Korea. Congratulations, South Korea.
You showed up.
You showed up. You've shown everybody that if you show up, you can win it. So congratulations. By the way, I forgot to do this. So welcome to Otaku Tuesday.
NANI? Otaku Tuesday.
We couldn't end the show without doing that. We couldn't end the show.
You gotta change the font on that. I hate those colors.
Well, you were the one who made those colors. It was you.
You know what?
What do you mean you don't like it? It was you.
Well, we got AI now. We can fix it.
We can make it better. But yeah. All right. So let me start with the outro here. As always, comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at DariusDW and at Super Dario World. Our next podcast will be, I don't know. We'll see. When are we next available? What is my next haircut? We'll see.
It's based on your freaking softball shit. I don't know.
Yeah, it's been busy. Also, do not buy the Toyota BC4X. It's garbage. It's crap. Unless you feel like dumping a buttload of money. And don't go to Mazda Toyota Pacific Beach unless you feel like dealing with unethical people who don't have a spine or follow their words. Or you can trust them, or liars. Whatever. Point is, don't go. Just, don't even waste your time. All right. Let me see. Am I forgetting anything? Do we do everything okay?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was okay. It just feels weird that it's such a short episode.
Well, I was in a rush. But anyway, as always, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again next time.
Not bad.